25 things I wish I knew before I started in real estate. Okay, what you're going to learn today is how to get started without wasting time and wasting money. The strategies that work and the ones that don't work from my experience, from the things that I've seen. We're going to talk about the most common mistakes and how to avoid them as you're getting started. Okay. Number one, and I'm not going to tell you, these aren't in order of any priority. This isn't like the most important, the least important. These are all things that I wish I would have known. Number one, real estate is simple, but it's not easy. This whole concept of like buy a house, fix it up, make it better, sell it for more money. Super simple. Okay, it's simple, but it's not easy. There are so many things that go into that, from title work to appraisals to making sure you have the right insurance to finding the right property to marketing to buyers to what to say to them, what to say to sellers, how to deal with hazard, how to deal with termite, what problems if you have problems with property. Like, it keeps going and going and going. So it's simple but not easy. The concept is very simple. That's the thing. It seems simple to find a house. It's really not simple to find a house. You have to do a lot of work to that. Fix and flip, sell it for a profit. It's simple, but it's not easy. Easy, right? No, it takes a lot of work. There are many hurdles. There are many obstacles. It's simple, but it's not easy. It's really important. You do have to be good. You have to be good. You have to get good or find somebody good at many different things, like sales, like finding properties, like marketing, systems. There's so many things you've got to be able to go out there and make happen, and the most of which is finding that good deal. Okay. Number two, you don't have to know, everything to get started. This is a big thing. I got to know everything before I start? No. Okay, it took me time to get started, right? So first I bought a duplex, and then I got my real estate license, and then I helped other people buy and sell, and then I helped other people flip properties, and then I did my very first flip. And here's the crazy thing, I was scared. Even with all the experience I had as a real estate agent, helping other people flip properties, I was still scared. And so I tell that story a lot because it's important that you realize that it's okay to be scared. And it's also, you don't have to know everything before you do that first fix and flip. And I could have made more money faster if I would have gone to flipping right away instead of working my way through. But I was one of those that liked to know everything. And so it took a while to really get into that. Number three, get educated, okay? Without having much money, you can learn the ins and outs of real estate investing. There are people that have been doing this for a very long time. And understand, if you can learn what it took somebody else years to learn, you can leapfrog them, you can jump ahead of them. And unfortunately, in the past, I had been reluctant to do that. I wish I would have spent more money to get more educated. A set process can eliminate so many problems. You're following somebody else's, what they've done, what their best practices are. Number four, a mentor is worth their weight in gold. I was too cheap early on to make this investment early on. I changed my ways. I was either too prideful or I was too cheap. But either way, when I did it, I saw progress grow exponentially when I had a mentor that I followed, helped hold me accountable, helped me with the things that I didn't know, and helped me with roadblocks that I had along the way. Number five, finding properties is the key. There's nothing more important when it comes down to than actually finding a good deal. And so spending your time and energy in finding good deals is the most important thing. And most people want to delegate this, like hire a real estate agent, they'll find good deals for you. This is totally up to you. You've got to learn how to market to off-market properties. That's really what it comes down to. You've got to learn how to be a great listener, and that can make you a great salesperson. Number six, you don't have to be an agent to invest. This is something I hear quite frequently. I didn't know how to get started, so I went and got my real estate license. And it turns out this doesn't help you as an investor. A lot of people think if they go to real estate school, it'll help them be a real estate investor. They'll get in on deals that nobody else knows about. No, it can save you some money when you sell your property, but that's about it. It's not going to teach you how to run a real estate firm. It's going to simply help you pass the real estate test, which is not required to be a real estate investor. Number seven, how to value properties the right way. This took me a long time. Once I learned to look at a property like buyers do, it changed everything. You start with the lowest priced homes and work your way up until you find properties in like condition. That way you are looking like a buyer. It makes comps easy and it takes the guesswork out of it. Number 8, wholesaling is a low risk way to get started. I started by doing fix and flips. After I did that, then I started doing some wholesaling. But many times wholesaling is more profitable on a dollar per hour. Wholesaling being find a property, put it under contract, sell that contract, either through an assignment, through a double close, or through a flash cash, depending upon, there's different ways you've got to do it based upon what state you're in. And just keep that under consideration, something you've got to think through. Number 9, keep as many homes as you can, especially right now. I'm looking back to homes that I bought for $100. I have a property I bought for $87,000, and it's actually a townhome. It's right next to another house, so they're side by side. They should have a common wall. Bought it for like $87,000, and I'm doing a refinance on that right now. The appraisal is going to come in somewhere around $370, and I just bought that property 15 years ago. And what's cool about it is I didn't put a lot of money into it. I did, as close to 100% financing as I could, and so over that time, my return on investment for the money I put into it has gone up so many times. It's like millions of percent because I didn't put a lot of money into it, and it's gone up so much. So keep as many homes as you can for yourself. This is another property I bought for $100,000 15 years ago. Same house today are going for $350,000. We're seeing this a lot. And if I kept the tenant in there, the tenant paid down my loan along the way. So keep as many houses as you can along the way. Number 10, don't worry about taxes. I was always worried about taxes, and now I want to make as much money as I can, and my CPA can help me find ways to lower my taxes and create legal strategies, but just save as much as you can with a CPA and make as much as you can, and don't worry about paying taxes. I find that as a big misnomer. Number 11, skip the plexes. I started buying duplexes, 3plexes, and 4plexes. I would not do that again. I like single-family homes for rentals so much better. I would have skipped the plexes and gone right to the houses. I find they're easier to rent. People stay longer. They're less management. They don't make quite as much money, but I find they're worth it in the end. Turnover kills you. This when it comes to rental properties. So I typically keep tenants for 5 years. They take care of all the maintenance on the property. I can be selective of who I put in because everybody wants the property because of how I price it. I used to try and get the highest rental rates I could. Now I look to get rents. I discount it $50 to $100 a month, and it saves me thousands of dollars because I don't have the turnovers and those problems that most people run into. 13, tenants can show the home to a new prospective tenant. So rather than me having to run out to the property to show it to a new person, when a tenant gives me notice, we put it up. New people call the tenant directly so they can see the property. The new tenant the old tenant has applications. They can fill it out, send it in, do it on our website. Super easy. So the new people show it, and this cuts my turnover time. And literally when somebody moves out, somebody's moving in, they exchange keys in the driveway. And the best part of it, I don't even have to be there for it. Number 14, jump in. You can check the temperature all you want, but you won't know what the temperature feels like until you jump in. If it says the temperature is 80 degrees in the water when you put it in, you don't know if that's really that hot or that cold until you actually jump in and feel it. And then you actually know what it is. You'll know what the temperature is, but you don't know what it feels like. It all comes down to risk and reward. You do have to take some risk. There is nothing that's not without risk. And you won't really know until you start doing some deals yourself. So the key is taking some action and actually start doing some deals. Number 15, be willing to pay for good advice, okay? Hire an agent. Hire the property stager. It can be an investment, not a cost, if you follow through with what they say and what they suggest. Number 16, don't mess with zoning. I found this out the hard way because they have a big bite, or as they used to say, they carry a big stick. Early on, I worked and I turned a duplex into a 3plex without talking to zoning. It was so costly, I had to get a second loan on the property. They made me put the stairs back in that I took out and remove a kitchen. If a permit is needed, get a permit. Don't try to work around it. Number 17, start early and buy often. I bought my first investment property when I was 21 years old. I bought every year since then with a few exceptions, and I was really glad that I did. 18, live on much less than you make. This is the key to wealth right here. Rather than spending money and buying stuff, buy real estate and then let the tenant pay you rent. Then use the rent to buy stuff. So let somebody else buy stuff. Basically, you're not killing the chicken, you're eating the eggs. So rather than going out and spending your money, start buying more chickens, and those chickens will produce eggs, and you'll have the chickens for a long time. Number 19, staying power is everything. I've seen the market go up and I've seen the market go down. But if you can make the payment in the end, you win. Even if you're breaking even through rough times, as long as you can make that payment in the end, you're going to win. We talked earlier how real estate's gone up $6 trillion in the last 10 years. Number 20, make the goal cash flow, not cash. Cash is great, but cash flow is king. Flip to get cash and then use cash to buy rental properties. Number 21, you have two jobs. You have two jobs. You have your day job and you have your investing job. Your day job pays for your kids, puts food on the table, pays for the house, and your investing job is your future. You always have to wear two hats, and you've got to work both of those hats. Number 21, the day job puts food on the table, and then the investing job puts future income stream. You can't neglect either one. Number 22, always buy real estate. Double down when there's blood in the streets. I remember after 2008, I was so hesitant to buy properties because the worry was, will it go down more? Will it go down more? That was the wrong mindset. That was a mistake I should have made. I should have said, hey, can I afford to hang on to this? Can I make the payment? If so, put a tenant in there, keep it long term, and in the end, we know it's going to go up. And there's this idea of dollar cost averaging as you're buying more properties. Number 23, long-term tenants and values go up. So in the long term, rents go up and values go up. It just happens. Values always go up over the long term. The earlier you get in, the better off you will be. Number 24, buy the worst house and make it the best. You're looking for the home that brings the rest of the area down, that's in a good area, the house the neighbors don't like to see. And number 25, technology can make the difference. Right now, there is so much data out there. There's vacant owners, there's non-owner occupieds, there's AVMs. Use software. Make the investment into the software. All right, if you're interested in our complete system that takes brand new investors through funding their first home, it's called our Find Fund Flip system. Dozens of hours of training, deal finding software, access to our 100% financing. dohardmoney.com/get started. Go check it out. Okay, we got a couple of comments here as I was going through the 25 ways. Okay, Leora says, thank you. I'll be looking for hard money lender in Minneapolis soon. I just need to figure out to deliver my vision to them. Yeah, that sounds great, Leora. I don't think we do anything there, but you're happy to check out our website at dohardmoney.com. Darren, excuse me. I hear you now. Do loans on homes under 90 square feet and mobile homes. So yeah, I mean, most hard money lenders, and us included, we don't do loans on any mobile homes. As far as under 900 square feet, we'll look at those deals, but they've got to at least be 2 beds and 1 bathroom. If they're less than 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, I would be concerned about that. You don't want to do it. Sean says, I keep missing Instagram notifications for the live broadcast, and I did not know you were on YouTube. My reason for being here today. Yeah, Sean, just jump on YouTube. If you hit that bell thing, it'll notify you as things come up. So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell thing, and then you'll be able to get notifications. I'm not sure. Is Instagram not working? Is it not working, or you're just not seeing it? Let me know, because I'd be interested. Mike Wolf, hello again from Colorado. Mike, thanks for being here, man. Sean Kelly, plexes also do not qualify for multifamily loans. No, duplex, threeplex, fourplex are single family loans. That's why a lot of people like them. That's just me. Let's see. Leora, I just bought a duplex. Never again. I'll be focusing on single family moving forward. I'm with you, Leora. I think it's better as a long-term investment. Sean Kelly, that's good advice. Can come from good mentors. I learned from others that have done it before. That's great, Sean. I think it's the key to success there. Leoria, eating ramen as we speak. Living on less than you make. I hear you. Sean, love number 20. Thank you, Sean. Really appreciate it. Blood in the streets. It basically means lots of equity, lots of foreclosures. Yep, that's exactly right, Sean. Basically, Warren Buffett came out and said, when people are greedy, be fearful, and where people are fearful, be greedy. And one of the things he said is when there's blood in the streets, buy. And so it's the idea of when everything's going crazy and everybody's worried, that's the time to buy. So I see. Great. Number of faves, keep as many as you can, and cash is good, but cash flow is better. Yeah, I totally agree with you. George Cash, that information was great, Ryan. Oh, thanks. I really appreciate it. Michelle, thanks for your inspiration. No, thank you for being here. Leroy, I was on Instagram Live first, and then you switched over. Yeah, we got to figure out something on our Instagram Live. Thanks for letting us know about that. Marina, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, 1,100 square feet, good or bad? The answer is it depends on what you're paying for it. But I like 2 beds, 1 bath, 1,000 square feet. I think it's great. You're going to have more turnover if it's a tenant situation because you're typically not going to have families. But it really comes down to where you're investing that and how much you're paying for it. But I don't really care. As long as you're getting a good deal, buy it. Okay, Sean Kelly, buy it, but that may not mean you should rent it. It may be a great fix and flip or wholesale or something else. Sean Kelly, I was seeing the Instagram notifications late, therefore I did not know about the YouTube channel. Okay, I got you, Sean. Awesome, guys. What else you got? Thanks for all the great comments. For those that are on YouTube with us, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and hit the bell. If you hit that little bell thing, it'll notify you as new ones come up. And like I talked about earlier, we're doing new videos every single day, and they're great videos. They answer quick questions. They're little 3 to 5 minute segments. You're really going to want to check those out. If you missed last week, go check us out on YouTube. We talked about code violations. I think, George, you were saying last week was one of your very favorites. What code violations are, how they can kill your profit, how you can use them to find deals, working with contractors. That's what we talked about last week. What do you want to hear? What do you want for next week? Wholetailing, determining rehab costs, coronavirus investing. Please type in the comments what you want to hear. Choosing good contractors, virtual wholesaling, finding cash buyers, seller financing, contractor bids. There's so much here. Determining rental prices, preparing for cash flow, business partner, reverse wholesaling. Please type in the comments what you want to hear for next week. Finding cash buyers, seller negotiating, income property, sales skills, closing a deal, all the players, auction properties, subject to deals, determining repair amount, buying remote properties remotely. What is interesting to you? Please type in the comments in the live or in the recording. Something else, making offers without seeing properties. What would be helpful for you? George Cash says, keep up the good work, Ryan. I will spread the word. George, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Roche, sorry I'm late. No problem. Glad you're with us. Thanks for saying hello. Check us out. If you want some help, check out our Find, Fund, Flip system. Go over to dohardmoney.com/get started. Also, if you like what you're hearing, check out our Income Hacker podcast. Wherever you listen to podcasts, it can be iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify. It can even be on your Alexa or your Google Home. Just say, hey, play Income Hacker podcast, and it'll start playing. It's pretty cool. Okay, a couple other things. Dorina, great stuff today. By the way, love the quick segments too. Good. I'm glad you're liking those. Let me know what we can do. And if you want to hear some stuff, let us know. Nymph says sales skills. Great. I've got it. George is saying make offers without seeing the property. We'll put that in there as well. Okay. I think we're getting there. So last week's winner, Andrea Colombo, won the swag of the week last week. Best comments, interaction, recorded videos. That's who won last week. This week's winner, and let me make sure I've got, yes, this week's winner that's going to be getting the bag, that's going to be getting all that stuff. It's the big price here is this Ogio, this killer, they call it the 1 pint Ogio Do Hard Money bag. The winner for this week, okay? Who's ready? We need a drum roll, right? Drum roll, please. Sean Ritchie is our winner for this week. Sean, if you're with us, please make yourself known. Give some comments. If not, you can always, if not, you're watching the recorded version, just email support@dohardmoney.com. Put in the subject line swag winner. Put in your screen name, your mailing address, your cell phone number, and we will send the free swag out to you. Now, again, we are giving swag away next week, so everybody's been making great comments today. You'll get entered in for our swag for next week's competition. Roche says, finding escrow in property. Finding escrow in property. Let me know what you mean with that. Are you wanting help once a property hits escrow or finding properties. Let me know what you're thinking on that, Roche. Okay, get some swag today. If you want to earn some swag, just email us support@dohardmoney.com. Put in the subject line, earn free swag. Send us your phone number, and we will send you some details on how to do it. We'll be here same time next week, Tuesday, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And if you want some help, check us out. Find Fund Flip System. Just go to dohardmoney.com/get started. Any other questions before we wrap up today? Type them in before we go. You can reach out to us at dohardmoney.com/get started. Otherwise, everybody, make it a very profitable day, and thanks for being with us.